welcome to Dear DeKalb on DCTV. I'm your host, Crystal Thomas. Here on Dear DeKalb, we bring you stories about you, our citizens, about what truly makes our county unique, and that's the people in our communities. Now, during the COVID-19 pandemic, DeKalb County has continued to serve the community, bringing people together, united in a common goal to get through these challenging times. In fact, during these trying times, DeKalb County came together like never before, and that's something that we can all be proud of. Now, during this edition of Dear DeKalb, we're going to show you stories from throughout the year, highlighting how DeKalb County has continued to deliver vital services. Now, let's take a look at what's going to be coming up on this edition of Dear DeKalb.
We're out giving back to our community. Every year it's getting bigger and better.
We're out here to get some masks so we can stay safe.
You can see things are being bagged, separated, and nobody's going to be turned away.
We appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am.
That's why we exist as a government. We're in it together.
We'll be right back. Once again, I'm your host, Crystal Thomas, and thank you so much for tuning in to this edition of Dear DeKalb. Now, first up on our show, this story will highlight an event held this summer where DeKalb County CEO Michael Thurman, DeKalb police cadets, and fire rescue trainees, as well as other county personnel, gathered at various locations throughout the county to distribute COVID-19 care packages to our residents. Now, these packages contain 2 disposable non-surgical masks, hand sanitizer, as well as a card from the Board of Health with a lot of information about COVID-19. Now, these packages were given out in an effort to stop the spread of COVID-19 in areas of the county where COVID-19 cases were at their highest. Let's take a look at this first story.
What you see here and behind me are police and fire recruits. They're out here today to pass out these kits.
DeKalb County government, headed by CEO Thurman, came up with this idea. It's an initiative where DeKalb County wants to begin the distribution of 50,000 masks.
We're going to offer them this kit so that they can be as safe as possible.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Just recognizing this crisis and how it's impacting our citizens, it's multi-layered, really, if you think about it. It's not just the health of the citizens, but obviously a lot of folks are out of work right now.
We hope to give 6,500 COVID care kits in the zip codes that have been highest impacted, according to the Board of Health. A lot of those zip codes end up being in disadvantaged communities, and we want to make sure that they have everything that they need, because it's important to keep our community safe. And if people can't afford masks, we want to make sure that they're protected and safe.
What we're able to do is directly give our citizens what they need at this time. We're outside of a Kroger's right now, and I'm sure there are some citizens that are making decisions about a choice between bread and whether they can buy masks, even if they can locate them. So what we're doing is providing them with those essential PPE that's needed during this time.
Here you go.
Thank you so very much.
Yes, ma'am. It comes with a mask and hand sanitizer, okay?
God is good.
Yes, ma'am.
Every kit, you get 2 masks, you get hand sanitizer, and you get some information on how to care for yourself.
There's a number here that they can call to get tested if they believe they have contracted COVID-19.
The police department will be having them in their cars, and as they go to cause for service, they will be distributing them. They want to make sure that they interact with the community in a positive way, and when they're not going to cause for service, they'll be patrolling in those high-impacted zip codes to make sure that they're distributing these.
Thank y'all.
The CEO, Michael Thurman, strongly encouraging all of our citizens to wear masks. We're still encouraging people to remain 6 feet apart. We're asking them still to wash their hands. And once again, there's information here about how to get a test if you so desire.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate
No
it. And
problem.
I appreciate all you guys do.
We want to make sure the community knows that police and fire and the DeKalb County government supports them and is behind them, and we want to make sure everyone stays safe.
What a great way to protect our citizens. Now, during these distributions that were held that day, 50,000 masks and hand sanitizers were given out to DeKalb residents. This was one of many events held as part of the Stop the Spread initiative here in our county. Now, this event was also held to help residents become more prepared in advance for an impending ordinance, which required masks to be worn in public places in DeKalb County. Residents were very grateful to the county for making sure they were kept safe during this time. Now, all throughout the show, I want to continue to mention that you can visit DeKalbCountyGA.gov/coronavirus for more information about DeKalb's response to COVID-19, as well as other useful resources. Now, stay tuned. There's more Dear DeKalb up next. Let's take a quick look at what's coming up.
Providing these masks, providing these signs, making sure that our citizens are safe is as important as us responding to the call.
All that and more after the break. Welcome back to Dear DeKalb on DCTV. I'm your host, Crystal Thomas. Now, during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, DeKalb County has distributed masks and signage to small businesses here in DeKalb County. The signage included the message, "No mask, no service." This message was distributed as a part of DeKalb County's Stop the Spread campaign to encourage people to wear their mask in public to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. The effort began in July, where more than 20,000 masks and signs were distributed to local small businesses. Many major retailers in the United States have deemed masks mandatory when shopping at their establishments, and DeKalb County wants to make sure people are safe during this time. Here's that story now.
The most effective way to stop the spread of COVID-19 is to wear a mask, distance yourself, and wash your hands. We can't do it without support and partnership from our entire community, north, south, east, and west. And key players in this will be our business owners. We're distributing some 20,000 masks to business owners all over DeKalb County. So if customers come in who may not be masked up, they can not just tell them what the rule is, but then they can help them by giving them the tools they need to protect themselves and others. I'm excited because we have so much enthusiasm and support from small business owners here at this shopping center who are taking masks and pledging to place signs up in their establishment. Not only putting up the signs, but also sharing masks.
What we know in the fire service is that most people see us as just responding to calls. Once the emergency has happened, we respond. And that's what we do day in and day out. But another part of our job is to prevent. Prevention is as important as us responding to the call. So that's what we're doing today. Providing these masks, providing these signs, making sure that our citizens are safe is as important as us responding to the call. We're all in it together. That's the key. Wearing a mask, that's the least that you can do. It's everybody has to understand you doing your part not only protects you, but it protects your family, it protects your friends.
We want to work together with our business owners to protect the employees, the customers, and the general public. So that's why we exist as a government. That's my calling. This is God's work. Feeding the hungry, clothing the naked, sheltering the homeless. That's who we're about.
Great story, and another shining example of DeKalb County coming together, making sure everyone is safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, DeKalb County does have a mask mandate, which went into effect in July. It requires that DeKalb residents over the age of 8 wear a mask that covers their nose and mouth while in public places. Again, for more information about the Stop the Spread campaign and DeKalb County's response to COVID-19, visit DeKalbCountyGA.gov/coronavirus. Now, businesses can also request masks and signage by emailing stopthespread@DeKalbCountyGA.gov. Remember those tips because they're very important. Next up, this story chronicles just one of the many food distribution events held in DeKalb County this year in an effort to combat food insecurity. Now, early on during the COVID-19 pandemic, DeKalb County CEO Michael Thurman worked to ensure that CARES Act funds were allocated towards decreasing food insecurity during these challenging times. Now, during this particular food distribution, DeKalb County partnered with Atlanta Community Food Bank, the City of Clarkston, Positive Peering Incorporated, and First African Community Development Corporation. Together, they provided 1,200 boxes of food to DeKalb County residents at the Tahoe Village Shopping Plaza. Now, during this event, residents were able to drive up and receive packages of food containing between 15 and 20 pounds of produce, dairy, and shelf-stable items. Now, let's take a look at this event.
Today we have started our food distribution thanks to the DeKalb County and the Atlanta Food Bank. So DeKalb County basically adopted us as part of their CARES Act program. We are actually distributing 15 to 20 pounds of food to each car, and this is an effort that we'll be performing until the end of the year. So we're just out here making sure everybody that needs to be fed gets fed.
Today we actually have 2 drives, not just the one. So that with the demographic and the food has shifted to every side of Clarkston. All kudos to Council Member Deborah Johnson, who initiated the connection with the Atlanta Food Bank and then the connection with the CEO's office in order to collaborate and make Clarkston one of the drives for the community. So you can see things are being bagged, separated, and nobody's going to be turned away.
I love it. This is what it's all about. This is one DeKalb coming together to help our brothers and sisters who are being negatively impacted by COVID-19. It's a day full of love and sharing, and it's just so inspiring for me.
Positive Peering is a part of this. We networked with Clarkston. We ran food for over 3 months through the epidemic. We realized the need. So Deborah and I collaborated, and we said, hey, let's do our own food drive so we can get back to our community.
Positive Peering, Jennifer Threadcraft owns it, and she's been my mentor for a few years. Saw that she was doing stuff, and I figured I'd help. It feels nice with everything that's going on. I mean, like, people really need it. I'd expect someone to do the same for me.
We are a diverse community. We're a refugee community, and we have people in our community that's struggling real bad to eat, to pay their rent. So we wanted to make sure we took one burden off of them. We just wanted to take care of our residents one step at a time.
I know a lot of people are bent on staying home because of the corona and everything, but just even if you can't go out, help out in your little community, your neighborhood. It don't matter, just help.
It's just God work. He has us in his hands and under his control and power, and it's being manifested throughout DeKalb in a way that's unprecedented, where we've been historically so divided and so divisive. You see people coming together in an unprecedented way, and I love it.
So many people have been helped during these challenging times. This speaks to the true meaning of community here in DeKalb County. Now, this and all of the many DeKalb County food distribution events held this year were made possible through partnerships with various local organizations. What a great way to give back. Now, there's more Dear DeKalb coming up next after a quick break.
A pencil, a paper, notebook. A lot of us take that for granted, but guess what? A lot of folks may not have. And so every little bit helps. And so I want to make sure, even in this COVID situation, the young people have the supplies that they need for them to be successful.
Welcome back to Dear DeKalb on DCTV. I'm your host, Crystal Thomas. Now, next up on Dear DeKalb County District 3 Commissioner Larry Johnson held a back-to-school drive-up event back in August earlier this year, along with radio station Streets 94.5 and the Georgia Spartans. The event was held at the Hidden Valley Apartments in Decatur. DeKalb residents drove up in their cars in a safe and socially distanced way to make sure that they received school supplies so that their children were well prepared for the upcoming school year. Let's take a look.
It's amazing. You look at these sponsors and who was here today.
We're doing a back-to-school event in partnership with Commissioner Larry Johnson and Mayor Group.
We got to connect with our community as much as we can.
So we guys are doing a pull-up back-to-school event, pop the trunk, and we're giving school supplies, SD cards, earphones, book bags, rulers, pencils, and pens.
This is our 3rd annual annual book bag drive. Every year it's getting bigger and better.
We're here today partnering with Glamorous Gems and Georgia Spartans to bring back to school supplies to the community.
We're building more partnerships, more community relationships. The organizations are getting out more.
This is what collaboration means in District 3. We never do anything by ourselves. We want to make sure we have people connected who really care about the community. And that's why you see a testament of all of these folks who are here at Hidden Valley Apartments, making sure our young people have all the school supplies they need for them to be successful at DeKalb County schools.
I'm the director of Rising Gents Mentor Program. We mentor young men 10 to 18. Right now we out here giving out book bags. We do book bag drives twice a year. We do food drives, trying to give back to the community, and that's what we teach our kids too. The more you get, the more you give.
So we have these lovely book bags here, and they're filled with all kinds of supplies.
Applesauce, good treats in here, apple juice as well. I wanted to make sure they had school supplies and some snacks.
This is an unusual year for them. They're starting at home where they normally be seeing their friends, connecting with teachers, but everything is virtual. So just because you're virtual don't mean you don't need school supplies.
Since we always wanted to give back, this was the perfect opportunity for me to share something that I've always had a passion for, and Amir Group has always been a backing for that as well.
I once was a child that was living on the street and my mother didn't have much, so it's near and dear to my heart to give back to the community.
I grew up with a single mom, and she always taught us to give back. She always taught us to be the best we can be, and then teach somebody else, bring somebody else up. Our community can be just as strong as anybody else's. Just give back.
A pencil, a paper, notebook. A lot of us take that for granted, but guess what? A lot of folks may not have. And so every little bit helps. And so I want to make sure, even in this COVID situation, that we're still out here connecting and giving folks the things that they need to be successful.
What a wonderful event. DeKalb County students are currently participating in virtual learning since schools are still closed due to the pandemic. But right now, more than ever, these school supplies were vital to making sure that they have the tools they need to have a successful school year, whether learning virtually or in person. Great job, and a big thank you to Commissioner Larry Johnson and his community partners for making this event possible. Lastly on our show, this next story features a drive-through event that was held at the Lew Walker Senior Center in Lithonia, where our senior members got the chance to pick up personal protective equipment, other vital resources, and many other goodies. The staff at Lew Walker organized this event to let them know that they were missed and that they were there for them despite the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, the event was held in partnership with Kaiser Permanente and DeKalb for Seniors Incorporated. Let's see how excited these vibrant seniors were.
We out here to get some masks so we can stay safe.
We're having a meet and greet for our members of Lew Walker Senior Center and the community at large. And what has happened, we've partnered with Kaiser Permanente Hospital and DeKalb for Seniors. And they were giving out masks so that we can give out to our senior members. And we decided to do a meet and greet.
Good to see you. Oh, they gave us some Skinny Pop, some chips, water, and apple. Oh, and my favorite, some cookies.
The center here is doing a great thing by passing out things that will help us to survive. It makes me feel good. They're concerned not only with the members, but the members' family. If we wear a mask and we go home, then that means our family is safe.
During this COVID era, we've experienced having a virtual platform where we've been able to continue our programming. But in lieu of that, we've heard from our members about them being anxious and excited about coming back to the center, but also knowing that they were unable to come because of what we're dealing with in our community.
We miss you guys.
The one that came out here to volunteer, those volunteers out there are doing a great job.
Lew Walker Senior Center has approximately 3,000 plus members, and to see that we have lines all the way down Panola Road past Hillingdale is very exciting. We knew that what we do here, the work we do here, was very vital. We knew it was important, And we know the impact working in the field, but to actually see the effect that it has on our members, it has gone definitely better than I imagined that it would, it would go.
We've been away from the center since March now. We miss everybody.
We decided to put together a meet and greet that would give them an opportunity to see us because they miss the facility and their programming and activities. But it also gives the staff an opportunity to see them, communicate with them, meet with them, say hello, let them know that we miss them.
Especially when you see them every day. You see somebody every day, you miss them.
It's good to see that the center thought about us. That does your heart real good.
Lou Walker Senior Center is definitely a premier place here in DeKalb County. We still have programming that's taking place at Lou Walker as if they were here, but it's taking place virtually. We offer over 150 classes, when we're open and when we're operating as usual. But in this COVID era, we have over 60 classes, and they can communicate and find out all about that through calling the Lou Walker Senior Center, but also going on the website. Just know that here at Lou Walker Senior Center, the seniors don't retire, they refire, and we do that through our programming and our communing one with another.
You stay safe too. Yes, sanitized. Yes, we stay sanitized and masked up.
Seniors are our most vulnerable population, and especially so since the COVID-19 pandemic. It's important that we continue to support them and make sure that they are well taken care of, especially during these challenging times. It's great to see Lou Walker Senior Center and our Human Services Department continuing to serve our oldest residents. Now, before we end the show, I wanted to let residents know that COVID-19 information and testing is available through the DeKalb County Board of Health. Call 404-294-3700 and choose option 1 to be scheduled for COVID-19 testing. You can also visit DeKalbHealth.net for more information. Well, everyone, that's all for this edition of Dear DeKalb. Don't forget to tell everyone you know to tune in and visit us on all of our social media platforms. I'm Crystal Thomas. Please stay safe, and thank you for watching Dear DeKalb right here on DCTV Channel 23.